All right, everyone, we can go ahead and get started here. We've got some fun stuff to cover during our master class today. We are just about 1 minute after the hour. We'll go ahead and dive in. Our session here will take just under 15 minutes to roll through. We like to keep these nice, short, and sweet so you can enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll go ahead and get started. Today's session, we're going to touch on our full screen split and assign. So this is a new feature that was recently added here to SkySlope to make that workflow nice and smooth, give you a few extra time savers. We're then going to touch on forms. We've actually recently applied Teams access. This was a very heavily requested role here within. So we'll touch on that Forms Teams access feature. Now, this is going to be an additional feature for my admin and brokers on the training here today. So we'll talk about how to give you access. We'll then talk about our new office manager role here at SkySlope. There is really a need, we noticed, between that agent role and that full service admin level. So we do have an office manager spot now available. And last but not least, your learning and development team here at SkySlope has launched learning.skyslope.com. We're really excited to provide you with a lot of different training styles to really fit into the different needs of your team. You know your agents, you know how they learn best, so let's give them plenty of opportunities for that continued knowledge. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into my own demo SkySlope account. All right, guys, so today I am logged in as an agent. However, again, brokers and admin on the call here today, you'll have access to really everything that I'm covering. The first thing that I wanted to touch on is that full screen split and assign. Once again, a very heavily requested feature here within SkySlope. If you've been using SkySlope for a while, you'll know that our split and assign tool was a nice little catered version, and we just wanted to make that a little bit easier to work with. So I have a property here that I know I recently emailed a packet into. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my global search bar right there, pull up my property, grab this 600 K Street here. Perfect. And then we'll come right into this documents tab. So once again, I used my property specific email. I had a packet of forms sitting in my personal inbox that I would like to then assign out to my checklist. I know that this packet here contains a few different line items, so I'm going to take advantage of my split tool, divide this packet up and seamlessly assign it to my checklist at the same time. So I can see here, this is my Texas packet of forms, starting off with that listing agreement. So simply all I need to do is select a page range. And when I begin to type in the name of this document, you'll see it'll provide a matching line item below. Now, again, this is a demo property, demo list of documents that I emailed to myself. So let's go ahead and sign this right on out to this seller advisory. Now I'll do the exact same thing for one more chunk of this document. You can see this document is a total of 18 pages long. And we'll go ahead and say something along the lines of, perfect, we'll add that purchase agreement in there. Well, last but not least, I believe we might have some wire fraud instructions going on in here, so I'll want to include that as well. Once again, dividing up my packet, I'll go ahead and take care of 2 steps, submitting into the checklist and breaking this apart by clicking my split and assign button. Perfect. I can see I've divided up this document here into 3 separate parts. Let's take a look at our Documents tab. I can now see that I have my original packet saved underneath and my 3 separate items that have been removed from it. And I can reference this paperclip here to see that it's been assigned to my checklist. Again, I'm not emailing my admin team or really doing any of that because SkySlope will take care of that for me. They'll let me know, hey, new documents have been assigned over to the checklist and it's time to start your review. All right, guys, so that is going to be our full screen split and assign. Once again, we're taking our nice abbreviated version we had prior, bringing it full screen just to make that process easy. We'll now move forward into that second item of today, and that is our Forms Teams access. So what I'm going to do is actually drop my menu down up at the top here and switch into my SkySlope Forms tool. Now, I know we have mixed attendees on our master classes here, so if you do not have access to Forms quite yet, know that this is coming soon. For those of you who do have access to Forms, this is a very heavily requested feature. So what we've done here is we've created the ability to group together agents so that they can share access. So what we're going to do is drop my name down up at the top here, and I'm going to access my broker management. As I mentioned in the beginning of our training, Broker Edition here, which Teams Access is going to be categorized under, is going to be an additional add-on to your Forms feature. If you would like to take part in TC Access and take part in all of our other additional perks that come with this Broker Edition tool, please reach out to your customer success manager or see us at skyslope.com. Now, I'm actually additionally going to post just a quick link in the chat here for us. So if you would like to reach out for more information, you can do so using this link. So that's going to be skyslope.com/broker/edition. So we can get you more information on setting this up. Now, if your team is participating in Broker Edition, as I mentioned, you'll now have this broker management option. Here you'll notice I have two tabs. I've got people and groups. On the people tab, you'll see a list of all of your active users within the brokerage, no matter the role. To find people, of course, you'll use this search bar. Simply type in any filter out. This will filter by both the name or the email. However, what you'll want to do first is group your agents. Now, by grouping agents, you can very easily designate which users will be able to work on behalf of what others. So what you'll essentially do is come right on in here and create a group. We'll go ahead and name this MC Demo for Master Class and hit Create and Continue. Now, by adding people to my group, what I'm doing is providing a filter system. So let's say I would like to add some of my team members. I have the amazing Miss Kylie here. I can go ahead and check her. Let me add a few other team members as well. There we go. And you'll notice down at the bottom, I can keep track of my progress. So I can see I've got 2 people selected here. Let's go ahead and add one more. Perfect. We'll go ahead and give this agent here access to this group as well, and I'll click Add to Group. I can now manage this group, but essentially what I've done here is provided a grouping for these agents, and I can further allow group file management using the 3 buttons on the right side here, that action menu, to enable that access. So essentially what I'm doing, let's say, is grouping these agents. Let's say up at the top here, Ciara, she is the one I would like to manage all 3 agents. I would like her to be able to send out forms on behalf of. So what I would then do is give her this group file management option. Now, what this is going to do for her, I'll take myself out of our groups here and I'll bring myself right on back to our forms, is it's essentially going to add this filter. So anyone who you finalize that step with by providing access will now have this added filter, and they can drop this menu down and search between different file owners. So I can take a look at in progress envelopes currently out for signature on behalf of my team members. And when I create a new file, it'll give me the ability to create on behalf of the agents that I share a group with. Again, guys, I know that is a ton of information here, so that is really just a sneak peek for what this Teams Access can provide. Got a ton of resources here to get that started. So if that piques your interest, use that link I in the chat there. We'll provide you with really how to get started and what comes next for your own team. All right, guys, let's go ahead and pivot right on back to my main SkySlope home base. I've had a chance to talk about that split and assign tool that we've recently added within those property files. We now have Teams access available through Forms. So my Forms users, if you're interested, use that link in the chat. We'll go ahead. I'm going to hop back into my presentation here to talk about our new role within SkySlope, and that is the Office Manager. Now, here in SkySlope, we have our traditional roles. We have our broker. That is really going to be the role or that main umbrella account that we all work underneath. Then, as admin, we can essentially be that broker right hand. We have a lot of those same capabilities that we can customize, really depending on the user. I then had an agent role. This would take me back a bit because I would essentially only be able to create files on behalf of myself and conduct my own business. And we really felt that there was a need between those two roles. So we bring you the Office Manager. Right now, really what you're looking at for file level permissions. They'll have the ability to create and edit files for themselves and agents in the same office. They can request cancellation of files. However, the main admin team, those who will have permissions above this manager level, will still be responsible for closing and reactivating files, archiving and approving cancellations. So that is still going to be the responsibility of a higher up admin. Now, this is really where we received this feedback. We know that our checklists, our admin team has the ability to accept or reject documents. But sometimes our office managers are assisting our property files and are not a part of that audit. So we actually removed the ability for them to audit those checklists. They now have the ability to upload and remove documents, participate in that chat feature there. However, they do not have the ability to accept or reject. Once again, we're going to keep that permission slightly higher than the office manager and keep that underneath that admin level. So very exciting, very easy for you to jump in and update as well. Once again, you just simply hop into your SkySlope account, jump into your roster, and you can update what label you provide back to your team members. So if you want to update anyone who's currently in SkySlope to this office manager role, you can do so underneath Manage Agents, underneath the admin side of your account. All right, moving on. So last but not least, SkySlope here, we've recently kind of understood that there was a need for continued education. So we went ahead and launched learn.skyslope.com. That's what I get for trying to type and speak at the same time, but we have learn.skyslope.com. Now, what we've done is really package together all of our offerings into one page. So here, as we scroll on down of our SkySlope Academy, you're going to recognize that we have on your time training. So this is all of SkySlope's webinars. We have our master classes, which you are currently attending here today. Thank you so much. If you'd like to continue, you can check in on our master class schedule on what's to come. We have our certifications course as well. So if you would like to get certified in any SkySlope products, that is available to you. Our knowledge base, feel free to navigate through those shorter to support articles, step-by-step instructions and tutorials if you have a specific part of SkySlope you're curious about. And last but not least here, resources for managing brokers. So for my admin and brokers on the call here today, if you would like to request some live training for your agents, we're happy to assist hosting that for you. And we've also recently launched our onboarding courses. So if you have a team member that you just recently onboarded to your brokerage and you want them to get caught up on all things SkySlope, send them our way. We can go ahead and get you started with onboarding courses. We'll send you over essentially a link and you'll be able to roll through those courses and also receive regular knowledge checks. You'll have a good understanding. We also have visibility to ensure that your agents are completing these courses. Now I'll scroll on down just a little bit further. You'll have your Meet Your Trainers. These are who will be conducting those requested live trainings for you. And of course, you always have access to our amazing support team. We'll go ahead and hop right on in. So if you're looking for some more of those short resources here, you have access to browse by product. So really an option for you now, guys. You have the ability to use that learn.skyslope.com webpage and get set up with all training resources that you need, including continued learning for newly added team members. So I will go ahead and wrap up our session. Again, we like to keep it really nice and sweet for you here on Wednesdays. So put your new knowledge to the test. Of course, in addition to that new split and assign tool, Teams access that we've added here to forms. You now have your office manager role, but I challenge you to take a peek at our new learn.skyslope.com website. See if any of those available training and resources will work well for your team. And with that, guys, thank you so much for attending. Appreciate you being here. I'll hang out for just a minute, ensure that we have all of our questions answered. But again, we like to keep these nice, short, and sweet. We'll also have a chance to upload these to our YouTube channel, so you'll be able to access this on that learn.skyslope.com if you'd like to watch a copy of it. If you do choose to hop off, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your time as always. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Happy sky sloping. Let us know if you have any questions.